YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to the Rat Hordes, where we're going to be taking on the Dark Elves. You can see my opponent has opted for a very small, very elite army. And I have a very huge Horde of Skaven, almost a full stack. I think I've got 18 units. So, let's see whether his elite army can pull off. And the thing is really his most elite units make up like one entity. So he has like a couple of bleak swords. They're not going to like this fight. So I've got clan rats with shields up front. And then behind them I've got death runners and plague monks. So two of each. I've got a doom wheel for going after crossbows. Skaven slave spears just to have a little bit of extra in the back lines. And I've got rat ogres working with clan rat spears on the flanks to kind of represent cavalry. And my leadership corps is Queek Headtaker flanked by two assassins. And the Dark Elf army, we've got a Black Dragon, two Cold One Dread Knights, which are very expensive cavalry. And then from there on out, he's got some interesting units. He's got this Black Art Corsair with hand bows, a couple of Bleak Swords, Malekith, a Dark Sorceress, Shades with dual weapons. And basically, my opponent just starts getting absolutely crapped on here. So my units are going to plow through the Doom Wheel coming right up the center. And my other unit's charging up the hill. I accidentally misused Queek's ability there, but you can see that the Dark Elves are already completely overrun by rats. Just like completely overrun. Their skirmishers can't skirmish. And then now Malekith's in trouble because the two assassins and Queek are all over him, and they have special abilities that will absolutely tear apart lords on foot. See the Doom Wheel just doing its thing. So yeah, Malekith is in big trouble here. If he was on a dragon or something, this would be a lot harder. But Queek is actually really difficult to kill with a large lord, and just look how quickly they just absolutely wreck Malekith. Again, Doom Wheel doing its thing over here. Beautiful. Rat Ogres combined with the spears are going to do quite well against cavalry because of their anti-armor. And the Black Dragon is busy chasing some spearmen that are after some of their more elite skirmishers. So Dragon's going to drop down in here, but it's going to be kept busy on a unit that's really not that important. The Dark Sorceress is the next one that got mauled, so she's out of the game, or will be soon. See, that's her there, running away from my assassins. So Dark Sorceress out. This is going to turn into an absolute slaughter here. So my opponent, I don't think he picked the right army versus the Skaven at all. The Skaven can come in huge. Just look at this. The Skaven can come in huge numbers, and they can be very dangerous. Just in that simple regard. And that's exactly what happened here. My opponent just got completely overrun by the rat hordes. So he had a whole bunch of units, like single units, like Malekith and the Dark Sorcerers and the Black Dragon. And then you combine that with small units like Dread Knights. Even though his units can do a lot of damage, there's just too many entities against them. Too many entities against them. So my opponent would have needed a much more balanced army here. He would have needed something. Honestly, one of my favorite picks up against the Skaven is Black Art Corsairs. They are a pretty good unit to help take down Skaven. So in any case, yeah, you can see he gets really hit hard here. Not trying to show this to be mean to my opponent, I'm just showing, like, if you make a wrong pick, how wrong it can be and how quickly. He was outnumbered about 3-1 right here. And if you think about it, really not any of his units were very well squared up. Like, a dragon's not that good at killing small units on foot, like the assassin and Queek. So he didn't have any answer to this. And because Malekith and the Dark Sorcerers were on foot, they just got crapped on by this little brigade right here. And then the Death Runners would have been there to help counter any armored infantry he brought, like Harganeth Executioners. And then the Harganeth Executioners would have had to try and cut through Clan Rats and Death Runners. And then the flanks, again, if he brought cavalry, I have spears working with Rat Ogres. And then the idea behind the Doom Wheel was I was going to punch right through the center of his line because his cavalry would be busy with the Rat Ogres and disrupt any skirmishers. So my opponent would have needed a lot more substantial force in order to pull this off. So you can see that he just wasn't able to do it. These Shades with dual weapons are like 1,100 each. And again, against Skaven, not the kind of pick you want to make. So Dark Elves is an interesting one against Skaven, and I think they have lots of tools. And I do think Malekith on a dragon, I really think one of the best ways to take out Skaven, the Dark Elves, is using magic. the magic can absolutely devastate a ton of Skaven units. So if we take a look here, Malekith has access to Blade Wind, which is going to be a really good one. Soul Stealer, which can pull hit points away. So Blade Wind, and then this combined with this tool here, Power of Darkness, it can be very useful. The extra pick of the Dark Sorceress was a waste, because you're not going to have enough magic to use both of them effectively. So I think Malekith on a dragon makes a lot of sense against the Skaven. Blackguard Corsairs are a good solid infantry pick across the line, and I wouldn't worry about skirmishers a whole lot with Skaven, because they don't really have a lot of stuff that you want to bring skirmishers. I mean, Doom Wheels are just going to punch through you, so why bring a unit that suits the Doom Wheel? So I would definitely say that that's probably not the right pick. Now, something like Dark Riders with shields and stuff, not going to be great versus a Doom Wheel, but you could bring some just to help. If you were going to bring skirmishers, the Repeater Crossbow could be a more useful pick, but I don't even think it's necessary. So honestly, though, I would go heavy on Blackheart Corsairs and then use the magic of Malekith to absolutely take a dump on Skaven blobs. And then you'd kind of just have to wait and clear out a bunch of the Skaven and then go after the leadership. So let's watch one more replay, because that one was really short. I pulled in one from a viewer, said Rohirrim, and I just couldn't resist seeing what the High Elves... Oh my gosh, 4 Dragon Princes. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a lot of Skaven, but something tells me that they're going to have instant regret of living when they see these Dragon Princes, because it's... Yeah. Rohirrim indeed. So I think that's a High Elf Prince, or is it Teclis? Yeah, it's Teclis. So Teclis in here, and 4 Dragon Princes, Phoenix Guard, and some spears over here. Ooh, my goodness, that's going to be a painful... Where did he put his Illyrian Reavers? I thought he had Reavers. Ooh, that Warp Lightning thing almost got him. Okay, yeah, here's the Reavers. Way back over here. So there's 3 Reavers in the back lines. Let's watch what happens. These Dragon Princes are going to be very difficult for the Skaven to deal with. That cannon is probably their best bet, and that's exactly what the Skaven player is doing, and he got some decent hits. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this is going to be painful because they got held in place by a net, and it was already going to be painful, let's be honest. Oh, there goes an 80 charge bonus. Woo! You're just standing still on your little rat feet, taking a charge from Dragon Princes. Look at that. Just Skaven slaves, of course, but still, just instant massacre. These Plague Monks will do great against the spears, but none of these Skaven units, except for maybe the Warp Fire Throwers, will do anything against the Phoenix Guard. Phoenix Guard is going to tank all day long versus some of the stuff. It's going to take a lot of that. Look at this, the Rat Ogres come in. They have anti-armor, and everybody thinks Dragon Princes suck because they don't have anti-large or anti-armor. The thing with Dragon Princes is they have really good melee defense, and they have shields, great armor, and their charge bonus is just sickening. And so they don't need all those extra bonuses because they crush you so badly as it is. So don't underestimate what Dragon Princes can do. Look how quickly they just tore a hole through these Rat Ogres. Yeah, Phoenix Guard tanking in the center now. Look at this Plague Monk dying to the Phoenix Guard. Here comes the Rohirrim, folks. Watch the rats fly. There's Illyrian Reavers over here, too. I should have played my Bretonnia cavalry music here, but it doesn't really fit because it's the High Elves. Look at this. This is just going to be a rat massacre here. Look at them skittering away. Can you blame them? If these guys ever want to enjoy another day of roaming around and eating cheese, then they might as well flee now. Yeah, because these rats are dead. They are dead. Look at the Teclis in here using Doomflock to make them even more dead. The Dragon Prince is barely even touched. I don't even know how that artillery's still firing. Look at the Warp Fire Throwers getting run down over here. Woo! Brutal pick on the part of the High Elf player here against the Skaven. 4 Dragon Princes is just going to be tough to counter as the Skaven. That's all there is to it. It's going to be tough to counter unless you had a whole bunch of Storm Vermin, and even still, the charge bonus on Dragon Princes is just absolutely disgusting. And that's where people early on, I remember when the game first came out, everybody's like, oh, Dragon Princes suck. They don't suck. And so the other thing you got to remember about Dragon Princes is the High Elves have this ability, so that when the unit has over half its health, this ability kicks in right here, which is Martial Mastery, so they get 8 more melee attack and 12 more defense. So these guys are at freaking 42 melee defense and 44 melee attack, packing 44 weapon strength. Again, no armor piercing or other stuff like that's fine, but 80 charge bonus, 110 armor plus a shield. Yeah. You all tell me what you think there. So they have fire resistance too, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how often, and they have physical resistance as well. So again, it's this physical resistance, combine it with the martial mastery, the charge bonus. These guys will absolutely lay waste to Horned ones. Now, that's assuming that the Dragon Princes get the charge. But on the charge, there is no cavalry in the game right now that can handle Dragon Princes. Horned ones, even though they have really good armor piercing damage, they get throttled. These guys just can't handle it. The melee defense is lower. Their armor is only a bit lower, and they have shields, which makes them great. But again, no physical resistance. So, and they have the Rampage, which is not great either. So the Dragon Princes definitely hit hard. They beat Horned ones. They beat Cold One Dread Knights. They're definitely better. And they need that charge, though. If you don't give them the charge, you take a lot away from the Dragon Princes. But they are tanky enough that they can stay in combat for a little while. Just keep them away from magic damage. So, like, I used this army once, or not exactly like it, but I had a couple Dragon Princes, and I was absolutely destroying a Lizardman player. But when I got my Dragon Princes bottled up, he used Banishment off his Mazda Mundi, completely wiped out my Dragon Princes. So that's the danger of these Dragon Princes, is a good spell can absolutely wipe out, thousands of gold worth of Dragon Princes. So anyway, cool thing there to get to see. Hope y'all enjoyed the battles tonight. I know they were both rather short, but both were kind of fun. We'll have more soon. Tell me what kind of stuff you want to see from the online battles. Appreciate MSI sponsoring the channel. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Like I said, go down in the comments. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll try and bring it for you. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.